Hey everybody, welcome back to the Monday Night Wars. Brett Mix here from Mixer Madness. Hit like and subscribe if you like what's been going on with the Monday Night War reviews. This is another one for the WCW side of Week 53, October the 21st, 1996. This is the 58th episode of Nitro, but the 53rd week they've gone at it head-to-head for Raw and Nitro. Nitro beats Raw for the 16th week in a row. The scores were 3.2 to 2.6. So far through 53 weeks, Nitro has 34 wins, WWF has 17 wins, and drawed twice. So a 34-17-2 record. This 3.2 rated Nitro is from October the 21st, 1996, live on TNT from the Mankato Civic Center in Mankato, Minnesota, live. For the first hour of Nitro, it's Zbyszko and Schiavone, with Today here and there. If he comes to the broadcast booth, he does sometimes for the cruiserweight matches. Then in hour two, it's Bischoff and Heenan. The show begins with fast with Schiavone and Zbyszko saying WCW needs a leader to come out. We still don't know where Sting is, but we should hear from Sting tonight. They also say the Macho Man is here scheduled to wrestle Benoit. So either Savage or Sting could be a potential leader for WCW as Halloween Havoc approaches and Hollywood Hogan is the WCW NWO champion. Opening match, Chris Jericho versus Bobby Eaton. Six and the bogus Sting are up in a section of the crowd by the entranceway with an NWO banner up there. They watch the match from afar while they videotape it. Jericho with a shoulder tackle to Bobby Eaton. Then he went for a clothesline and a suplex. Jericho lands with a standing vertical suplex. Underneath a drop kick to Eaton, and then a snapmare and a modified surfboard submission by Jericho. Chris is lightning quick in this match. Fans chant NWO, NWO. Jericho with an armbar into a spinning heel kick into a springboard drop kick to Bobby Eaton off the apron, as Jericho does that move regularly. Eaton back in later, and the two engage in a slugfest out to the floor. Eaton, able to drive the knee right into the shoulder block by Jericho, explodes out of the corner with a missile dropkick, getting Jericho the victory. Jericho, the youngster in the match versus the veteran Bobby Eaton, was a decent match overall. Jericho wins at 7:05. I gave it 2 stars. Next up, we have Jimmy Graffiti taking on Dean Malenko. Jimmy Graffiti is making his Nitro debut here. A drop toe hold by Malenko into a reverse chin lock. Malenko has a tornado DDT applied to him off the side ropes by Jimmy Graffiti. He also scored a near fall to Graffiti with a sit-down powerbomb and a high thrust sidekick. Jimmy Graffiti hit a forearm to Malenko and drops to the floor and hit a somersault plancha onto Malenko on the outside. Malenko then tries to get Graffiti to the mat, so that's his forte. The bogus Sting is videotaping the match. Nice suplex by Malenko. He goes for a pinfall for the first time in the match, and a 2 count. Graffiti got a roll-up pinning attempt out of nowhere at an Oklahoma roll as he counters the cloverleaf attempt. Jimmy Graffiti did his scouting. Crossbody, both of them fall to the floor where they brawl, and Malenko sends Graffiti back into the ring. Malenko goes for a superplex off the top, but Graffiti shoves him off and comes off with a dropkick attempt, which fails. So Malenko grabs the legs after Graffiti came off the top rope and turns it into a Texas cloverleaf, and he taps out. Malenko with the win at 6:38. Good competitive match there. I rated it 2 stars and a quarter. Up next, we got DDP taking on Sergeant Craig Pittman with Teddy Long. Diamond Dallas Page gets a good ovation. DDP stomps on the pit bull, which they call Sergeant Craig Pittman the pit bull, and a swinging shot by Page. Pittman arguing that DDP gave up, but Teddy Long pulled him out of the position. Pittman, known as Pitbull, loses because after arguing with the ref, out of nowhere a diamond cutter is hit, and bang! DDP wins at 2:54, 3/4 of a star. They show a replay of Ric Flair being beaten down by the NWO. They also show a replay of Jarrett's promo on the Giant for Halloween Havoc. And Jeff Jarrett in the next match takes on Ron Studd. Jeff Jarrett, his 3rd appearance in 3 consecutive weeks on Nitro. He's 2-0 so far. Ric Flair comes to the ring in a suit, and before the match can start, Ric Flair and Jeff Jarrett have a strutting fest. They have it's a strutting approval. They're not trying to battle each other. They're just having fun out there. They both shake hands as Flair comes to the ring in a suit. Flair shakes hands with Jarrett as after both men done strutting, Ron Studd comes to the ring, and Jeff Jarrett wrestles Ron Studd the same way he wrestles the Giant at Halloween Havoc, as he's chopping him down, trying to get him off his vertical place. He does, and he slaps the figure 4 on at 128, and Jarrett wins for the 3rd straight week that he's been appearing on Nitro. So he's 3-0. The scene was just about to show Ric Flair's unity with Jarrett, and Jarrett winning the match, making himself look good. 3/4 of a star there. Hour 2 comes on as the Pyros blast. Bischoff and Heenan take over commentary. Lex Luger goes to take on the guy named Roadblock. This is Roadblock's first appearance on Nitro. Remember last week I said no one has as many wins on Nitro by Mark Kaplan than Luger? Well, that was just a guess, and it's not written in stone, but here's another one. It's the Nitro debut of Roadblock, but he is not going to get the best of Luger. Luger wins the big man match, and he attempts to get him into the torture rack, but he fails twice, and then he goes for a 3rd time, and 3rd time's the charm. He gets it on, and the crowd explode. At 3:47, he got the torture rack on. I gave the match a star. Luger wins again. Harlem Heat with Colonel Robert Parker and Sister Sherry take on the American Males. These teams have met a few times on Nitro history, including when the American Males upset Harlem Heat for the tag titles. Now the Outsiders show up with cameras. They film the match because the Outsiders will meet Harlem Heat at Halloween Havoc. So this is just a prelude to that. Slow, methodical wear down on Marcus Alexander Bagwell by Harlem Heat. Frequent tags by Booker T to Steve Ray. Back body drop, high power moves. Bagwell needs to make the hot tag to Scotty Riggs. Once he does, he knocks Harlem Heat over. Riggs kicks Conor Robert Parker off the apron, and Stevie Ray ended up hitting a thrust kick to Riggs, who turns around. Harlem Heat win at 9:33. The Outsiders end up going to the concourse from the entrance as they got their video footage, the scouting for Halloween Havoc. Rated the match 2 stars. Next up, we have the Faces of Fear, Ming and the Barbarian, with Jimmy Hart taking on the Fantastics, Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers. Amazingly, a back body drop by Ming is caught up at a powerbomb by the Barbarian, all in one shift. Bobby Fulton came running at Ming, and he lifted him up for a back body drop, just flips him in the air, and Barbarian catches him and hits a powerbomb out of that. It all happened in one motion. It was really sweet. A drop kick off the top by Tommy Rogers. Then Fulton came in with a double drop kick as the Fantastics tried to double team the Barbarian. Both men hit the Barbarian with a double drop kick from the top. Rogers caught by the Barbarian and Meng with a boot to the head, and that does it for the Faces of Fear are victorious. The Faces of Fear went at 5:18. I give it a star and 3/4. Bischoff says we've got some exciting stuff coming up, more than some may think. Well, it's good to know. I'm looking forward to the end of the show. Not because it's been a bad show, but because Bischoff said that we got more exciting stuff coming up. They replayed the whole Liz sitting on the swing that Randy built for her last week, where Liz is talking about apologizing to the Macho Man, and they replay that, and then Bischoff says Savage is here tonight. Next up, NWO Sting takes on Mr. JL. The entire New World Order come to the ring to watch NWO Sting take on Mr. JL. The match ends in a no contest at 1:40 after the NWO Sting had the Scorpion Deathlock on. And the real Sting comes in and beats up the imposter Sting. The NWO all come out and watch the real Sting beat up the imposter Sting, and they just watch it. So this gets Bischoff paranoid, saying that Sting joined the NWO. Sting gets on the mic, or Hall and Nash got on the mic and said, if you're NWO, you're NWO for life. So Sting gets on the mic and says, the only thing for certain is nothing's for certain. Sting with his leather jacket and white face paint for the first time. Not the Crow version yet, but still just white and leather jacket. He says nothing's for certain, so we don't know where Sting stands. He's a free agent. He leaves the ringside area, and the show ends with a segment of the NWO in the ring as DiBiase says they're taking over, and Sting basically was unsure as he left. Because he said nothing is for sure. That's the only thing for sure. Then Bischoff has Savage, who just shows up. Watch NWO promo where Hollywood Hogan is on the set of the Three Ninjas, and she's making Liz speak into the camera to Randy, and she's basically just torturing her. Him and the Giant are on the set of Three Ninjas, taking over as he's Hollywood Hogan. And Savage watches this on film, and Savage says, even marriage is fragile, life is fragile, and then that's how he ends the show with Bischoff at the podium. So Bischoff says, okay, we gotta go, and then that's how the show ends, with Macho Man telling Hollywood Hogan that life is fragile. So a little warning to him for Halloween Havoc. So it was a good Nitro overall. I rated it 5 out of 10. Thought it was average. The best is still to come. So we'll see that in the coming weeks. That was this week's Nitro. Stay tuned for the next ones. I'm Brett Mix. Hit like and subscribe, and I'm out.